Okay, so we're now going to start working on round 11. I will just say about round 10 that one is quite a tricky round, so do be really careful, make sure that you're symmetrical and that at the right points you're working down into this turquoise row, not into the green row. So some of the stitches are done into the green and some into the turquoise there, so just watch for that. But make it neat. The main thing is make it neat. Right, so we're going to join it into one of the corner spaces, and I'm just going to anchor it with one stitch, and that way you've got something to work into when you get all the way around. It doesn't count as a stitch. So we're now going to work just pull that a bit tighter, a UK double crochet and 2 chain and another double crochet all into the corner space. Okay, so you feel a little bit like you've got a double stitch there, but don't worry, that's for later. Okay, so 1 double crochet into the first stitch of the side, so that is this stitch here. So again, you feel quite compact there, but that is where it's supposed to be. And then we're going to start working front post double trebles. You may or may not have picked up that these are like a palm tree, so they're to symbolise a palm tree. So these are the fronds of your palm tree. So I'm going to wrap twice, go around, pull it back through, round and through 2, round and through 2, round and through 2. Okay, so you're just doing 1 in this first bit here, and then you need to look carefully behind. So that, yeah, it's fighting with me. That's the stitch we worked into. This is the stitch we're missing, and we're going into that next one there to do a double crochet. So for every frond you need to miss a stitch on the row below. So for this next one we're going to work 2 front post double trebles. So that's that one. Okay, and then you have to miss 2 stitches at the back, so it's anchored there. We miss 1, 2, and we go into there. And then we're going to do it again, front post double trebles. So that's 1, 2, and again you need to look at where you'd anchored the last one, miss 2, go in there. So you've started off doing a single and then a pair and another pair here. Then we're going to do 2 chains, miss 2 stitches and do 2 UK double crochet, 1 into each of the next 2 stitches. So you've 2 chain, miss 2 stitches, 2 double crochet, then another 2 chain, miss 2 stitches, another 2 double crochet, and then finally 2 chain, miss 2 stitches, 1 double crochet there. So it's, you can see here it's symmetrical as to where you are. So we miss this one and then do the front post double trebles again. So that's 1, 2, then fiddly bit is that's where you went in before, miss 2, put 1 double crochet in there, then another 2 front post double trebles, 1, 2, then miss 2, put 1 in there, and then we've got a final one to do here. That's to there, and and then a double crochet into the next stitch, so that you've got your symmetry again. So you started off with a double crochet and you've ended with a double crochet, and then you do a double crochet, 2 chain and a double crochet, and then you turn and start to work down here. So again, you'd start there, right in that first stitch, with a double crochet, and then your front post double treble round this one. Miss one, anchor it with a double crochet, and then you start doing the pairs again. So you're working exactly the same as you've done here, all the way around to the end. And when you get to your last stitch here, you've got a double crochet and a slip stitch to join. So obviously repeat that bit. You can keep watching it until you're happy with what you've got, but you're looking for symmetry as you go along there. So you've got a single and a pair and a pair, and then you've actually got 3 loops here that you'll be working into later on. Okay, I'll finish that round and we'll come back. Okay, so this is where we finished round 11, and all the now long green fronds are done for those. We're now going to work the next round in trebles with the occasional chain thrown in there. Some of them will look slightly longer than others, so I will show you that as we go along, because some of the crochet is done only into the lime green, others it's done down into this lovely bright blue. So where it refers to row 10 in the instructions, it's wanting you to go into this blue row. Okay, so to start off, we're going to any corner, bring the yarn through, and then we're going to do 3 chains. So that's 1 with the tail, which is what I like to do, and then 2 more, and then another treble into the same space. Just get my yarn wrapped properly, then my tension's there. 2 chains, and then 2 more trebles into that hole. Okay, then we're going to work 2 trebles, 1 into each of the next 2 stitches. This 1 and 2. Now this next treble, it's still just a treble, but it's going down into the blue there, and we're wrapping all that fabric inside like so. So it looks slightly longer than the other stitches, it's sort of stretched, but that's what we want it to do. Then another one just into the lime green, so a slightly shorter one. Oops. And then here we're going down again into the bright blue below. So that's 1, and then in between these 2 stitches again we're going right down and into the bright blue. But each time we do this, we're wrapping the lime green in with it. Then I need another, I'm just going to move that tail out of the way, another simple one, so a treble into the lime green, and then I'm going to do another 2 trebles, but going right down into the bright blue. That's 1, 2. And we should, at this point, have the 2 for the corner, and then 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 stitches there. So 9 trebles plus the other 2 from the corner. We now come to these 2 chain loops from the one below, and for those we're going to put 4 trebles into each one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You miss these 2 double crochet and you do another 4 into the next 2 chain space. 2, 3, 4, and again miss these 2 and go into the chain space again. 2, 3, 4. Now, as I mentioned on previous rounds, we're looking for symmetry here. So we're looking for our next stitch to go in between this first pair of long stitches here. So we still need to come up with 9 plus the corner ones. So you wrap to do your treble and go down in between and into the bright blue below. That's 1. You can see it probably a bit better there if I turn it over. You can see how you've caught everything in the back. Then we have another long treble going down into the blue and tucking right in at the side there. Then the next one is a short one. It's just going in into the lime green. And then we're going to run another 2 where we run them quite deep. So into the blue below. See, so we've got 4 there. That's stitch number 5. Okay. Just trying to keep these looking the same. We then need 1 short one. Another long one where we're going down into the row below. And then 2 trebles into these last 2 stitches. And again, it's worth counting, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. And then we're back at the corner, or to the next corner. So we're going to do 2 trebles, 2 chain, and then another 2 trebles. And then the next 2 stitches we start right here, right next to where the original corner was worked on the row below. So that's 2. And then you'll work exactly the same combination across here, here, and right back to here, where you join with your slip stitch. So by all means re-watch this section here, and what you're doing here is really getting the fronds to stand straight, pull out and be defined at the sides. So we'll come back in a minute with the completed round. Okay. Okay, so that's what you should have after round 12. And what you will have, if you have done this correctly, are 34 stitches from point to point, so from edge. So you'll have 34 all the way across here. If you've any more or any less, you've got a slight problem, but hopefully not. So, round 13, we're going to join with the sand colour into any of the corner spaces. Just like before, we're going to bring it through. I'm going to do 1 chain with the tail, set my hand up with the tension, and then do 2 more chains. Oops, making a mess of that. There we go. And then also into this corner space, we're going to have 1 treble, 2 chains, and then another 2 treble. Okay. Now we need 1 treble into each of the next 11 stitches, and that does include this first stitch here. So start there. I'm going to just catch that and tuck it in as we go along. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back. 6, 7, 8, and I'm going to lose that round the back there. 9, 10, 11. So I've got the 2 in the corner and then 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. And I'm at this gap here. So 1 treble into the gap, miss your next stitch, and we're going to, which is that one there. We're going to work 2 into the top of this set of 4, so just 2 trebles in the 2 middle stitches. So you've got 1 there, 2 here, and then we're going to put another 2 now into the gap. So where you only had 1 there, you're going to put 2 trebles into this gap. Okay, so you've got your 2 in the corner, or your 4 because you've 2 sets of 2. You've got 11 to here, to this first gap, 1 in there, 2, but then 2 into the next point. Then we're going to work another 2. Oops, split the yarn there. We're going to start that one again. There we go. Keep it nice and clean. 1, 2 into those centre 2 stitches. You miss that one. You work 2 trebles into the next space. And then again, miss that one right in the corner. I'm going for that one. That's 2, and then we're kind of at the other side there, so this time we've only worked 1 into there, so that this is making a mirror image. So you've got 1 stitch, then 2 trebles there, 2 trebles, 2, 2 and 2, and then 1 again, and then we need 11 here, so we're going to start right in this corner again. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then we're at our next corner, and we're going to have 2 trebles, 2 chains, and then another 2 trebles. And when you turn to start your next round, make sure you go right into the first stitch there. So that's the first of the next set of 11 that we're going to work along this side. So I'll just pause there. This would be a full set of 11 when I've finished it. So just to reiterate, you've got your corner worked, then you've got 11 stitches in that section, 1 there in the gap, 2 in the middle, 2 in that gap, 2 in the middle of that 4, 2 in that gap, another 2 in the middle of that 4, 1 in this final gap, and then another 11, which takes you up to the corner where you do 2 trebles, 2 chains, 2 trebles. So keep going all the way round, and we'll pick it up again once we get back to this corner. Okay, so this is what you should have at the end of round 13. Do make sure that you've done this section correctly. That's the one, if anything, that will trip people up. So you need 1 treble in that gap, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, another 2 in there, 2 here, and then 1 at the end, so it's symmetrical. if you don't, you won't really have enough stitches to do what you need to do on the next row, although the next row is quite simple. But it's just easier for sewing up and everything if you've got the right numbers of stitches to match to. So the final round is done in white. And with this, you are doing the same start as before. So joining your yarn, one with the tail, 2 more with the working thread. Just going to get that attention sorted there. And then 1 treble, 1 chain this time rather than 2, just 1 in the corner, and another 2 treble there. Then basically you're doing 1 treble in every stitch along the side. So really simple. Just work your way along all the trebles of the row below. So I'll pause that there because you don't need to watch me do a row of trebles. I'm sure at this point you're quite capable. So you're working trebles all the way along here, and then you want 2 trebles, 1 chain, 2 trebles into each of the corners. When you have finished, you should have, going right from where the corner chain space is, you should have 42 stitches down each side, and that is including your 2 that are worked in the corner. So you'll have 42 from there to there, and a 1 chain corner space, and then another 42 going down the side to here, and the same thing in the corner where you've got your 2 and then a chain and then another 2 trebles. So work that all the way around, finish here. We'll come back in a moment and just show you the completed square. So yeah, you can just carry on with that and I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so this is it complete with round 14 on. Not as easy to see, I'm afraid, on the white background, but you've got the general idea. You have 42 stitches down either side, and then you've got a 1 chain corner space there. I would recommend with these larger squares particularly blocking them, so that's where you wet it, then get a towel, I'd double up the towel, pin this on top nice and firmly while it's wet, and then just leave it to dry. You can throw another towel on the top, that sometimes helps as well, and you get a really nice squared off finish, and it makes the sewing up so much easier at the end. So I would do that with each small block as you're doing it, rather than trying to block the whole blanket, which is much more difficult. It's far easier to do it at this stage. So good luck. I hope you enjoy that one. I think that was a really good one to do. Quite technical, but really, really fun square to do. So yeah, can't wait to see what you all come up with when you create yours. And I'll see you in the next instalment.